Cookie Arnold. I got to know him really well. And it beat him over and over again. And then he got a set of clubs that he got even better, and he won every championship. And he got into Wake Forest. You know that, right? Wake Forest. And he was immediately, as a freshman, the captain of the team. And there was a man named Mark McCormick. And Mark McCormick founded IMG. That's a very big, one of the biggest entertainment companies in the world today. And he wanted to be a professional golfer. He didn't go to Wake Forest. He went to another college, another school. And I won't say which, because honestly, I didn't want to look it up. It wasn't worth it. But a good
Everyone's just on their phones.
He wanted to be a pro. He's a very good golfer, very, very good. And he had the privilege of playing Arnold Palmer in a match between Wake Forest and his college. And the way he tells it, he was playing fantastically well. Mark McCormick, a very famous man, actually, the founder of the biggest entertainment company. And he was playing very well, playing Arnold, and Arnold was just Arnold. He was just better than anybody else.
What is he talking about?
And somebody shouted over to Mark McCormick, "How are you playing?" He said, "I'm playing great. Can't play better."
Oh my God.
"How are you doing?" "I'm 6 down." And he realized at the end of that match that he would never be a pro, because he could never beat a guy like this. It wasn't close. He said he was longer, straighter, chipped better, putted better, and thought better. Other than that, they were very close. But he gave it up. He said, "I'm not going to be a golfer." But he went to Arnold. He said, "Arnold, you're going to be turning pro and you're going to make a lot of money. And my second choice was to start representing people that are talented.
What the
And I'd like you to be my first client." And they made a deal where Arnold owned a big piece of the company. And Arnold started winning immediately. Made a lot of money for him. And Mark McCormick became the agent. And then because of Arnold's success, IMG, which you know, most of you know, it's very, very big now. Hollywood stars, everything. IMG became well known, and he started signing a lot of other players and a lot of other people. And then he started with Hollywood, and they signed Hollywood stars. And it became the biggest of those companies, like William Morris and all of them. And it was all because of Arnold. Arnold owned a big piece of it.
It's going to be dark before
Arnold
he finishes
was a very
this
rich
story.
man. And I said to Arnold, I got to know him when he was
Holy
69 years old.
Fuck.
And I played pretty much with him, a lot of them. And as he got older, you know, when you get older, you start to lose a thing called distance. And I'm a good golfer. Not like that, but I'm a good golfer. And I felt so good because I was hitting it a little bit longer than Arnold. But he was by this time about 75, 76. And I'd hit it 4 or 5
So am I
yards
now.
past him. I said, "Arnold, let me ask you, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, was I longer than you?" He said, "Donald, I wasn't president or close at that time. That was long before I decided to have this fund." So.
Oh my God, you freak.
No, but you're talking about a great man. I said, "Arnold," and he was still plenty long, but I said, "Arnold, do you think I was longer than you like I am now 30, 40 years ago?" He goes, "Donald, let me tell you a little secret. You weren't even close." He said, "You see that tree out there?" And he pointed to a tree that was about 70 yards in front of us. He said, "That's where I would drive it. And you're about 70 yards short of that tree, and you would have been even worse than you were." And it's true, you know, he won, I think it was Pine Valley, one of the great courses.
We're at the
He won
4-minute mark.
the US Open. He drove a par 4. He was the only person ever to drive that hole until that time. He drove it in a playoff to win the playoff. He went over the trees, very risky shot. He ended up driving the green, and he won with a birdie on the hole. And nobody until that point had done anything like it. But I said to Arnold, he became very rich because of the investments and the IMG and all of the different things. And I said to Arnold, just out of curiosity, you could live anywhere in the world. You could live on the Pacific Ocean. You could live on the Atlantic Ocean. You could live anywhere in the world. Why did you choose to stay? And part of the beauty is that because he made money right away, a lot of times it takes a pro years before they start making the money. It's a very, very difficult sport actually, but he started right away making money. And you know the first thing he bought?
What?
Was Latrobe Golf Club.
Oh.
And you know the first thing he did? He took his father from a laborer to make him the course superintendent. How cool is that? And then ultimately his father became the manager of the club. And Arnold was so proud, and his father was good. He said, one thing with my father, nobody's going to steal on me. He said that, and I said that too. I said, there's something nice. And then I took Arnold, when he was quite old, in all fairness, we took a helicopter from where he was in Florida to Doral. I own Doral, which is a great place. And it's got 4 courses, and many championships. Many of the best championships were at Doral. And I was building these beautiful, they call them villas, about 88 units in each one, hotel villas. And I named them after the 10 greatest golfers, including like Jack Nicklaus, Tiger Woods, Ben Hogan, Gary Player, Slammin', Sammy Snead, all great players. And I said, Arnold, I really want to name one after you. Would you like it? He said, I'd love it. I'd be honored to have that. And we flew down for the opening ceremony to cut a ribbon for the Arnold Palmer Villa. And it's, to this day, people just love it. And I'll never forget the day. He was having a little hard time. He was a little older. He hit the 80s. He hit the 80s. But he was still, when he got up there, he had that magic like nobody had. And you know, there were a few golfers that you could say maybe slightly better. A few, not many. But there was nobody that had his magic. He was a thriller. He was unbelievable. He knew how to win, and he knew how to just do whatever it was that electrified a crowd. If I had him here right now with me, this crowd would be going absolutely crazy. They'd say, Trump, get off the stage. We want Arnold Palmer to speak. He would electrify a crowd, and he would go for shots that nobody else could do, and they were risky as hell, and sometimes it wouldn't work out, but usually it did with him. He was an incredible man. He was an incredible champion, and he came from Latrobe. And so when I said, a couple of days ago, I said, where are we going to be today? They said, sir, we're going to be in Latrobe.
How sad.
I said,
this is the beginning of the rally.
What does it mean? I said, that means Arnold Palmer. Because Arnold told me he could be, and I knew he could be. They wanted him everywhere. Just like I wanted to name a villa after him. Everybody wanted him. He could have been in any place he wanted. He said, no, this is where I want to be. This is the place I love. I mean, how good is that, right? And he died a very proud owner of this course, and he was always tinkering with it. I said, Arnold, what are you doing? He said, well, I'm moving the hole 4 yards back. I said, nobody knows the difference, Arnold. And he said, I don't care. I love it. I love this place. He could not get enough of Latrobe. So, you know, I've been here before, and I've told the story before, not in this kind of detail. Because, you know, you have these teleprompters. If I would read it off a teleprompter, it wouldn't be so good, right? And it would be a lot shorter. It wouldn't be as good. And I didn't want to do that. I said, when I come here, I'm going to tell them the real story of Arnold. But Arnold Palmer was all man. And I say that in all due respect to women, and I love women. But this is a guy that was all man. This man was strong and tough. And I refuse to say it, but when he took showers with the other pros, they came out of there, they said, oh my God, that's unbelievable. I had to say it.
I'm stopping now.
We have women.